Today on Is It an Amp or Cheese? Let's see if our contestants can tell if it's a Chord Anni or a block of Velveeta. If you're a hardcore audiophile or just a plain old music lover, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can watch the latest reviews, how-to vids, and more on the hottest audio gear right here at Moon Audio. Spoiler alert, it's not a block of Velveeta. That review is for next week. Here we have what we call the Chord Stack Pack, which is composed of the Huey Phono Stage, the cutest DAC, and what we're going to be talking about today, the Chord Anni, a small desktop integrated amplifier that's great for any headphone system and just about any bookshelf speaker system. The Anni is Chord's first integrated amp, that being it includes both a preamp and an amplifier. Let's take a look at the materials and quality now. The overall footprint of the amp is pretty small. It's the same footprint as the Chord Cutest DAC and the Huey Phono Stage that we also have here. Chord has developed the QSS, or the Cutest Stand System, to accompany the trio of devices to allow them to be stacked, making for a nice and clean setup. Of course, if you're not connecting a turntable, then you probably won't have the Huey, in which case you can still stack the Cutest and the Anni. I used all three of these for my testing setup. The Anni has 4mm speaker outputs along with dual RCA pairs for inputs. Dual inputs means I could set up the Anni to receive signals from both the Orander N20 music server via the Cutest and a turntable via the Huey Phono Stage. It's built like a tank out of solid aluminum, and the entire chassis doubles as a heatsink. This is good because the Anni runs warm, and the harder you drive it, the hotter it gets. The fans inside do a good job of circulating the air, and I never ran into any issues with overheating or anything despite its size. Also, the fans are audible. Not sure if you can hear that. But they don't get loud enough to distract you from your listening sessions, even at the lowest volumes. In the front of the device, you'll find two headphone jacks, a 3.5mm unbalanced and a 1/4 inch unbalanced. Chord doesn't like to use balanced jacks in most of their products, and they don't need to because they design it to sound great. Balance doesn't always mean better. The volume knob also doubles as the input switch. Simply press it in and you'll see the input switch designated by the red and blue LED ring around the knob. It's an easy feature to miss, but it keeps the front face neat and clean like the rest of the Cutest lineup. That being said, keep in mind that although the Anni can output audio to two headphones simultaneously, there is no independent volume control. The volume knob will adjust both headphone outputs simultaneously. The Anni also has a dual stage gain function when in speaker mode only. When using headphones, the Anni reverts to low gain mode, and you won't be able to switch to high gain mode. This will automatically be enabled once you plug in headphones into either the 3.5mm or the 1/4 inch jacks. Let's go over the headphone impressions first. I tried a bunch of different headphones with the Anni, the Meze Elite, the Empyreans, Audeze LCD5, Hi-Fi Man HE1000 V2, Focal Utopia and the Stellia, Sennheiser HD820, and lots more. The Anni had more than enough juice to power these cans to optimal performance. My preferred testing setup was with the Elite, and what really impressed me out of the gate was the low-end extension and depth that the Anni provides to the isodynamic hybrid array during playback. You can read more about my test songs and sound impressions in the written review, but the Anni really aided in bringing out the sub-bass frequencies in organ or synthwave and pop music, while maintaining the excellent detail that Chord is known for. It offers great separation and layering as well, and you can hear the improvement that the amplifier adds to the headphone setup over other brands. I like Chord a lot for their detailed and forward-sounding gear, but I was surprised at how much warmth the Anni brings to the table. This really comes across in the speaker setup, so let's take a look at that really quick. Here we are in the demo room, showing off the speaker setup that I had for the Chord Anni. Let's go over some of the signal chain here. So here I have the iPad, which is controlling Roon, coming from the Orander N20, which is getting fed to the Chord Cutest, to the Anni, to our speakers here. We have two pairs. We have the Bryston Mini T's and the Mini A's. I had a chance to A/B test with both of them. We'll get into that in a little bit. On the other side of it too, on the analog side, we have the Chord Huey here, which is running to our Music Hall MMF9. So the nice thing about the Anni is that you can have multiple sources, both digital and analog, feeding into the same unit. We'll get into the control here in a minute, how to switch back and forth between that. So let's talk about the speakers really quick. So we have two pairs here. We have the Bryston Mini T's, and then we have the Mini A's. The Mini A's I spent the most time with. They're the easier to drive speakers of the two. Their driver design gives them a little more warmth and musicality than the Mini T's. So if you're someone who likes a lot of body and warmth in your music, then the Mini A's are going to be a pretty good choice. The Anni provides some warmth on its own as well, so paired that with the Chord Cutest, which is a little on the forward side, it was a nice toasty setup. Switching over to the Mini T's, they're a little more forward. You're going to have a little more detail. They're harder to drive. You have less headroom at the end of the day, but they do sound better. Again, they're double the price, so that's kind of what you would hope to expect. So that's on the speaker side of things. All right, so let's quickly go over some controls for the speaker setup here. So again, we have the Cutest and then the Anni. We also have the Huey over here. If you wanted to, you could stack all of these three together. On the Anni, you'll see that there is a gain button here. Notice that only in speaker mode will you have the ability to switch between high gain and low gain. When it's in headphone mode, you only have low gain option available to you. The volume knob here also doubles as the input select switch. So you'll see there's a row of LED lights here. So you can switch it between red and blue. So red is your input 2 or your analog, which is currently playing the turntable. Then our digital is currently playing some Dave Brubeck. All right, concerning connections really quick, we have the Chord Cutest here, which is being connected to the Chord Anni by our Black Dragon interconnect cables. Also, we have the Silver Dragon USB cable, which is connecting to our Orander music server. We recommend silver or black for the USB connections. Black Dragon or Silver Dragon interconnects really depends on your personal setup. So feel free to contact us and we can provide a personal recommendation for you. There's not much to the little amp besides great sound, and frankly, that's all you need. The Anni provides nice, clean amplification that will more than do the job for any headphone setup. When it comes to speakers, you'll want a solid set of bookshelves that are within the power limits of the Anni. 10 watts may not seem like a lot, but there are a ton of speakers out there that will work. The Anni also makes a great pairing with the matching Cutest DAC and the Huey phono stage if you have a turntable, and it makes more sense to get the Anni to pair it with if you already have one of these. It's not cheap. At almost $1,800, it's not an impulse buy, but if you know and like Chord, then you know you're getting top audiophile quality gear. If you want an integrated amplifier for both your headphone and small bookshelf speaker setups, then look no further. The Anni is a solid recommendation. We'll put a link to the full written review below, which has lots more info on the Anni, device overview, sound impressions, and more. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest Moon Audio videos. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and as always, thanks for watching.